Welcome to Parallel Universe. The world remembers Baer Jr. as Jethro Bodine, the lovable, dim-witted giant from the Beverly Hillbillies. The booming laugh. The innocent grin. The character who brought comfort and joy into millions of homes every week. But at 88, Baer Jr. is almost unrecognizable, and the change has shocked the world. Not because he aged, but because the man behind one of television's most beloved characters lived a life far lonelier and more complicated than anyone imagined. When the Beverly Hillbillies premiered in 1962, it became an instant cultural phenomenon. At its peak, it was the most watched television show in America. And Baer Jr., still in his 20s, found himself trapped inside a role that would define and confine him for the rest of his life. Jethro Bodine was everywhere. The audience adored him. But Hollywood saw only one thing: a character, not an actor. Behind the scenes, Max was nothing like Jethro. He was intelligent, ambitious, and deeply aware of the trap forming around him. While the show brought fame and financial success, it also stole something priceless: freedom. Casting directors refused to see him as anything other than the bumbling country boy. Serious roles disappeared. Opportunities dried up. And when the Beverly Hillbillies finally ended in 1971, Baer Jr. was left carrying fame that opened doors for everyone except him. Determined not to be erased, Max reinvented himself. He moved behind the camera, becoming a producer and entrepreneur. He invested wisely, purchased rights, and built wealth far beyond what acting alone could have provided. Financially, he won. Emotionally, the cost lingered. The laughter of millions couldn't drown out the frustration of knowing his true potential was never fully recognized. As decades passed, Max withdrew from the spotlight. Hollywood moved on. Television evolved. The face once broadcast into every living room slowly faded from public view. When rare photos of him surfaced in later years, older, heavier, fragile, the shock was immediate. Fans struggled to reconcile the aging man with the eternal image of Jethro Bodine frozen in black and white reruns. Time had done what fame never could. It stripped away the illusion. At 88, Baer Jr. lives quietly, far from red carpets and studio lights. His voice has softened. His movements slowed. The booming presence that once filled sitcom sets has been replaced by the stillness of age. He has outlived many of his co-stars, many of his critics, and even the era that made him famous. What remains is a man shaped by success that came too early, and freedom that arrived too late. The shock of seeing Baer Jr. today isn't about physical change. It's about confronting time. About realizing that even the characters we believe will live forever are carried by human beings who age, ache, and fade. His story is a reminder that fame can preserve an image, but it cannot protect a life. Baer Jr. is no longer Jethro Bodine. He is something far more real. A survivor of television history. A man who refused to disappear, even when the world stopped looking. And in that quiet endurance, there is a different kind of strength, one no laugh track could ever capture.